Hello guys, welcome back to Red Hot TV today. How bandits tortured us for 6 nights, freed Katsina schoolboys recall. Some of the 344 schoolboys kidnapped in Katsina State by suspected bandits and released on Thursday 6 days later have recounted their experiences in the den of the kidnappers. The students were kidnapped last Friday from the government science secondary school in Kankara. Boko Haram had on Tuesday claimed responsibility for the kidnapping, though some government officials had refuted the claim that the terrorist group was involved in the mass abduction. Following their release, the pupils looked dirty and tired when they arrived in Katsina on Friday morning, where they narrated their ordeals in the hands of the bandits. They said shortly after their abduction, the abductors divided them into groups and marched them into a forest with thorny plants, where they slept in the cold. The kidnapping raised concerns and anger about worsening insecurity and violence in the country. The students said food was rationed for them and they were given cooked cassava and potatoes every other day. According to the victims, some of them who could not keep pace with the kidnappers and other victims in the bush were flogged. Those who spoke, however, said none of those in their groups died. For instance, one of the pupils, Farouk Aminu, said, "Right now, I'm not feeling well, and it is because of the terrible experience I had. The bandits forced us to walk throughout. They flogged those who were not keeping up with others. We were fed donkali, that's potatoes, and cassava, and we were not fed every day. But some of us were able to get some fruits that we also ate. I did not hear that anybody died among us. I thank God for bringing me back home. After we were released, we were first taken to some areas in Zamfara State. We were taken to Safe in Zamfara and eventually brought to Katsina." According to another student, Abubakar Sadiq, the bandits exposed them to every dehumanizing condition. He said, "Our ordeals began from when we were abducted from our school. The bandits kept on shooting in the air to scare us, and they warned us against making any attempts to escape. They gave us food when they felt like and gave us dirty water to drink. This made some of us to fall sick, but they were able to recover without being attended to. As I'm talking to you, I'm not feeling well. I want to go home." A senior secondary school 1 student, who was also a victim, Yusuf Suleiman, said he would not like to return to the school. "I thank God for bringing us back home," he said. "The bandits took advantage of the weak security in our school. I will advise my parents to help me seek transfer to another school. I did not see anyone who died, but I can only speak for my group as they divided us into groups when they took us into the forest," he said. Another victim, Abdulmajid Umar, who noted that the location of the school exposed them to the attack, said, "The location of our school made us vulnerable. When the bandits came, the policemen could do little or nothing because the bandits were many and also because of their weapons. I thank God that we have been freed. I will not be surprised if many of us prefer to go to another school when schools resume. Boys with big guns ordered me to say they were Boko Haram members in video," Kankara Schoolboys says. One of the freed schoolboys featured in a video purportedly released by Boko Haram on Thursday said he was ordered by the kidnappers to speak in the video. I don't know who they were, but they said I should say they were Boko Haram members, the gang of Abu Shekau. I don't know who they were, but they said I should say they were Boko Haram members, the Pupils said at the Katsina State government house on Friday, shortly after they were received by Governor Aminu Masari. The abduction took place some hours after the president, Major General Muhammad Buhari, arrived in Daura, Katsina for a week-long private visit. A video purportedly released by Boko Haram had claimed that the terrorist group was responsible for the abduction. But speaking on Friday after their release, the pupil, who said he was a teenager who featured in the video, said, "From what I experienced, they are not Boko Haram members." The teenager, who spoke during a program on Arise TV monitored by one of our correspondents, further said, "Sincerely speaking, the gang of armed robbers was very scared of what was happening from the jets. They assigned me to speak directly from the video to tell the government to stop sending the army and jets. If not, they were going to kill us. We suffered a lot physically. They beat us morning and night. They only gave us food once in a day and water twice in a day. Some of those who beat us are just tiny boys with big guns." The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, had deployed a special strike force tagged Operation Puff Adder in Katsina State late last year as part of efforts to improve security in the state. Members of the special force were deployed to the nine frontline local government areas in the state. In the same vein, the Nigerian Army in May commenced Operation Sahel Sanity, and its troops have been based in Faskari. The troops operate essentially in the states and in other states in the northwest and in other parts of the north, including Sokoto and Niger states. Despite all the efforts, there is hardly any week that bandits do not unleash terror on communities in the region. The development has made many residents to relocate from rural communities, particularly in Katsina State, to its capital city, Katsina. One of the parents of the victims, Malam Aminu Dayabu, an employee of a local government in the state, described the most traumatic period in his life as the time his 12-year-old son spent with the bandits. Dayabu said the psychological horror of waiting endlessly for his missing child affected his family during the period, while harboring fears that the experience could have a lasting negative impact on his son's mental health. After the pupils were released, Dayabu said, "Let me first show gratitude to Almighty Allah for the safe return of our children. I am also grateful to the state government as well as the federal government. It was a terrible experience for me and my entire household throughout the period that Farouk was away. My neighbors also assisted us with prayers. Since last Friday when the pupils were abducted, I have been going to the school, hoping to hear that my son and the other pupils, the other students, had been found. I'm very happy that they were released, but I will appeal to the governor to beef up security in the school and in the entire community." In the same vein, Hajia Mujanatu Danja, whose son Hosaina Nasiru was also among the freed students, said she was grateful to God and the government for ensuring their release. She, however, reserved further comments until when she would have the opportunity to see her son. She said, "I am happy because the pupils were released. I thank God and will ever remain grateful to Him for bringing Hussaina